If you are ready to revamp and reset your laundry routines for the spring, then this live is for you. Hello, happy Tuesday to you all. Happy April. This is Tuesday. If you're watching the replay, then you probably watched it on a different day. But I am a week. I took a break last week for lives, but I'm back. We are back. And yeah, I took a little break for start of April, just to get myself a little recalibrated, but we are back. We're ready to jump into some spring series content. So I look forward to talking about some spring refresh topics. I felt like it would be a good time as we are talking about spring cleaning. That's what we like to do in the spring. It's like a renewal. It's a refresh. We want to refresh our homes. We want to do organization projects. We want to get things clean because the weather is getting better in Michigan. It's cold right now, y'all. We had snow yesterday, but we're not gonna talk about that. But it's a time where the weather's getting better, the days are longer and brighter, and something in us just wants to, get stuff done, get stuff purged and cleaned out. So I want to start a spring refresh series to help you revamp some of your routines, to help you get started on some of those things, so you can be ready and carry those routines throughout the rest of your year. And, know what to do. So for next year, when you're ready to revamp them again. So if you are new here, I am Shalina B, your go-to mom for family meals and routines. And I also help my moms and women to prioritize their self-care, their ambitions, find their joy, spark their joy, because we deserve it. The world is crazy enough. So we deserve to have joy, to have community, to have connection, to do the things that we desire, to be able to have good people, good community around us to cheer us on and hold us accountable. So if you missed it, in March, we did a Bet on Yourself series for Women's History Month, where I talked about reigniting your joy and your spark and finding creativity and things of that nature. Because sometimes we work so hard that we don't make room for creativity. We don't know what we want to do to be creative. We don't make time for it. So check that series out. And yeah, we're going to get into it. I hope you can see me okay. That sun is shining bright, but it's beautiful. So we're just gonna get started. This is gonna be a quick live, but as I'm doing these spring refresh lives this month, and maybe longer than this month, I don't know how long we're gonna be doing this so far. But if there are topics or things in your home that you want to revamp, if you want some organization advice or just how to get started or whatever, let me know. Put it in the comments, DM me, just chat with me and let me know some of the struggles that you're having in your home. I'd love to help you. Either we can talk about it on live or again in the DMs, and I can do a separate video about that topic. So this was requested from a while back. I asked about some of the routine struggles, and somebody said laundry. So we're going to talk about laundry. So yeah, like I said, let me know in the chat, what are your current struggles with laundry? Do you like to do laundry? Is that a dreaded chore in your home? I am not a super fan of laundry, but I don't mind it. But we had to get on a routine of laundry, because at the time we had four people in our home. It was me, my husband, and my twins. And that started to get a little out of hand as my kids got older, got bigger, and they started having more clothes to wash. I started having more clothing to wash. And then in our other home, our laundry was in the basement. So I never wanted to go down the stairs and do my laundry. So I had to find some type of routine just to, like I said, get us accountable, get us consistent, get us on something that, we can get it done, because laundry is that thing that piles up, and it piles up in our dirty clothes. And then when we do it, it stays in the laundry basket and we live out the laundry basket. It's just a thing that happens to a lot of us. So we really had to get on a better routine. And now that we have 4 children, so our 8-year-olds, which are going to be 9 this month, and then my 2-year-old, which will be 3 this month, and then my 1-year-old. it's a lot of laundry going on. And then besides that, you know, you have all of your miscellaneous laundry, other things that need to be done as well. So there's always laundry going in our home. So we had to find a system that worked for us, that made sense, because otherwise it was going to get real hectic out here with 6 people that need to get laundry done. So I just want to tell a little bit about what you can do. I have three steps to get you started to create your laundry routine, or to help you revamp your current laundry routine if the one you have right now is not working. So this is something that you can always come back to. If it's not working again, you can kind of revisit it and figure out why is it not working and how can we get this back on a good foot. So the first thing that I like to do when I want to create a new laundry routine is to have a designated day for every member of the household. Whether it is 1 of you, 2 of you, or 6 of you or more. A designated day just really helps you just set that time, that day and time aside specifically for laundry. Because sometimes what I find in routines, period, if you don't plan for something, more than likely it's not going to happen. And I know that a rule of thumb that we've all done is I'll do the laundry when it piles to the top. Like that is like the signal. My laundry is full. That means it's time to do it. And I had to get out that mentality, because if my laundry was piled up, that meant everybody's laundry was piled up and everybody was waiting in line to get it done. And that's when things back up. And if you've ever heard me talk about a system, think of a system like a well-oiled machine. You have this big machinery with all the gears and everything is moving because it's well-oiled and everything is working like it's supposed to. But say you have a backup in there, say something on the assembly line gets stuck in there, or a gear shift breaks, everything is going to slow down because everything is used to going at a certain pace. But everything slows down and something called a bottleneck happens. So then everybody's backed up. You have a big maintenance issue. It needs to be repaired. It holds everything up. It stops production. It can slow down time, energy, money, resources, all of those type of things. So when you think about your home as a system, that particular system has to be working and well-oiled as well. So if everybody waits till their laundry is piled to the top, then everybody gonna be waiting for a while. You know what I mean? And that's gonna bottleneck your system. So you want to make sure that everybody has their designated day. So that way, even if your laundry is piled up, you know this particular day is the day that you can get it done. So nobody else is in holding, or nobody else is waiting to get theirs done as well. And there is no backup, you know, and you can ensure you have the time to get it done, whatever that day may be. And another thing, when you designate a day, stick to that particular day or days. And I'll get to that in a minute, because another thing, we have our routines. We want to create routines, but then we don't stick to our routines. So, it kind of defeats the purpose. When we don't stick to our routines, you know, we don't have the consistency. We're not working our consistency muscle. I keep getting all these notifications and they are distracting. I should have put my phone on do not disturb, but I didn't. So sorry if you keep seeing me flick the phone up. But anywho, yeah, so you want to stick to that date again to build your routine, and to, as everybody else is getting used to their routine as well, you want to stick to your day so you're not impeding on somebody else's day, because that can happen as well. And again, then that causes that bottlenecking in that system, and you don't want to do that. So for example, our laundry days are as follows. Sundays are typically miscellaneous stuff. So say we have a guest staying over for that weekend. We'll clean the guest laundry. We'll do sheets. Our sheets in our bedroom. We'll do dish towels if there are any. And what else? This is called miscellaneous. So what other miscellaneous stuff do we have? Anything else random, you know, just something that's not like clothing and stuff that we do on our normal days. But sheets, towels, and like guest stuff are typically our Sunday laundry. And if we can avoid it, we try not to do stuff on Sundays, but that's typically how it ends up. And then Mondays are typically my husband's days. Sunday, Monday. It depends on how much he has, but typically he can get his load done pretty quickly. So he has that day, and then Tuesday through Thursday. So Tuesday through Thursday is a window for me and my littles, my 2 and my 1-year-old. And what I say when I say designate a day or designate days, this is when this came into play for me. And this is why it's important to really know your schedule, know yourself, and know how much time you may need. And we'll get to time in a minute as well. But you need to know, your lifestyle the best. So you know what rhythm and routine is going to work for you. So you may need 1 day to get it done, or you may need 3 days like me, and I like to give myself 3 days time because I know myself, and I know I don't really care for laundry, and I want to make sure that I get it done, because I know that this time to get it done is probably all that I'm going to have, because I'm going to have another something on the to-do list to do. So I like to make sure that I set aside that designated time to get it done. So Tuesday through Thursday. So if I do my little's laundry on Tuesday, I'll typically do it during the day, in the morning, and then I'll start mine at night. So if I do theirs on Tuesday and I start mine Tuesday evening, my start is sorting. So that's the third thing. They're kind of in order, but they're not in order. But these are just 3 steps that you can do, but they kind of all blend together. But yes, so I start my laundry on Tuesdays. So I typically sort it on Tuesdays. I may put a load in that night, I may not, but then I know I may have between 3 and 4 loads, because I am a hang up girl. Most of my clothes I hang up on hangers. And then I have like my undergarments, towels, socks, pajamas that I wash and I dry, but all of my clothes that I wear on a regular basis, I hang up. So that makes it really easy for me not to have to fold up a lot of stuff. But hanging it dry really helps me. So that's something to think about as well. Do you like to fold? If you don't like to fold, maybe you hang more of your things, and then think about what loads you do first. So I always will do a hang up load first, because I know that'll be done pretty quickly. I can hang that up and move to the next thing. If I don't have time to do a hang up load, I'll do a load that I can put in the dryer. So like I said, you want to have a designated day or days, and then you want to split up those activities. That is another step, but I'm kind of blending them all together at this point. But you want to break up those activities so you know exactly how many steps it takes for you to get your loads done. So maybe you only have 2 loads, and if you only have 2 loads, then you know that requires maybe sorting it into 2 piles. You wash one load and you dry one, or maybe you wash one load and you hang one up. But whatever the case may be, for me, those 3 days work for me in my 5 loads of laundry, because I separate them whites, darks, like I said, the undergarment, pajamas, silky, like what they call it, specialty, whatever, whatever you call it, different loads. But I have several loads, so I know that I need the time to do so. But if I choose to do my laundry first, then I'll do the kids' laundry on that Thursday. But the point is, I have some designated time to do it, which gives me time to sort, to wash them all, to hang them all, to dry them, and to fold them. So I'm able to know exactly, how much stuff I have to do and what times I have to throw it in there. It's kind of like an assembly line. So I sort it, put one in the load, put one in the wash. Then after it's done, I come back, hang it up, and then I may only do like 2 loads a day. So if I have 5 loads, I may do 2 loads that day, which are both hang up loads. And then I try to let them dry, and then the next day I'll do a load that requires drying, because I know that I don't have to fold it up. Maybe I don't have to hang it up, because maybe I don't have the energy to do that. So I'll do that load, and then I can end with the last hang up load. And that has worked pretty well for me. I've been able to stick to it. If I can't stick to it, now this is the caveat here. What we have done, if we don't stick to our designated days, which I am the one that sometimes goes 2 weeks. Everybody else pretty much sticks to their load, because me and my husband, I do the little's laundry and he does our twins, their older laundry, unless, sometimes we may help each other out in the meantime. But most of the time we're separating it that way. So in the case where I don't do my laundry that designated week, I have to wait till that next week. I got to get in line, because again, if this is our system, this is our well-oiled machine. If I don't finish my laundry by Thursday and it's Friday, Friday is now the twins day. So Friday and Saturday are typically the twins day for laundry. So now I've slowed down the process. You know, my husband is ready to go with their laundry, and now my stuff is in the way. So now that holds him up and that backs everything else up. So most of the time I'll have to wait till the next week, and I'm okay with that because I realize now, like, okay, these are my days, and if I don't get to them, I'm gonna move to the next week, you know. So that has really worked a lot. And it sounds a little bit strict of a schedule, but honestly, if you really desire structure and organization and routines, this is necessary to stick to them, because otherwise, if you know that you can just do it a different day, you know, that might not help you become very consistent with those routines and sticking to that day. So that is kind of like how I stick to it, how I become consistent, because I know these are my days, and if I don't do it on those days, I have to move to the next week. So the next step, so number one, so designate a day or days and stick to it. Know your lifestyle and what days work for you. Maybe you do it during the day. Maybe you do it during the night. You know, if you work during the day, put one load on maybe in the morning before you leave, or maybe put one in the evening, or, you know, maybe you sort it one day, you start a load another day, and then you have a couple days to be able to get it done. Maybe you like to watch your favorite show and fold up clothes. You know, you can do those things too. So just find different ways that work for you, but you have to work it into your schedule. You can't just wing it because it'll never get done, but you have to find what works for you in that particular thing. And I don't like folding up clothes, but I know that if I have pockets of time to watch a show, that'll be the time that I can do it. I fold the littles' clothes typically in the morning. When they get up and they're in their cribs playing, I'll just go in there and fold it up before I get them dressed in the morning. So that system has worked for me. So you really have to kind of find your flow and see where you can fit this in, because there's some pocket of time that you have throughout the day to fit it in. If you feel like you don't, DM me and let me know. So we can definitely chat about it, and I can help you develop your laundry routine, because there are pockets of time throughout your day where you can get your laundry done and get it put up, because I know laundry can be very stressful, but it's something that we need. We need our clothes every day. So it's definitely something that is doable. So that is number one. Number two is to set a timer. That is my favorite rule of any routine that we are creating, we are revamping. Set a timer, because you don't know how long something is going to take you. So that's how you know how much time you have for certain things. So I know I don't like to sort clothes because I have to dig down into my basket, and I don't like bending down because of my back. And then sorting requires a little mental work for me, because I have to realize, like, okay, is this dirty? Is this clean? Because I don't know about y'all, but I have this is not clean enough to hang back up, but it's not dirty enough to put in the hamper type of clothes. And sometimes I'll just fold them up neatly and put them like on a ledge in my closet, or I'll put them neatly on top of the clothes basket, because my dirty clothes it's a wicker basket, so it has a hinge so it closes. I was looking at my kids, y'all. I thought they got out their sleepers, but everybody has their clothes on. That's great. But yeah, so I sometimes have to decide, is it time to wash them, or are they still good for a couple more days? Which pile is this, the all black pile? And even within the all black pile, I would have like some cotton black things or some silk or satin black things. So it requires a little bit of thought. So it helps for me to have you have that mental timer. But if you're not at the place yet where you know how long it takes you to do each load of laundry, set a timer and then see. And that's for, like I said, for any routine. I know how long it takes me to clean my bathroom, how long it takes me to clean kitchen, how long it takes me to cook meals. And that's because I have timed those things in the past. So I know, look, I only got 20, 30 minutes. What can I do in that amount of time? Oh, I can clean the kitchen. Oh, I can clean up this toy area. Oh, I can put a load of clothes on, I can go do my Peloton real quick. And when we talk about time management, that helps a lot to really know how long it takes you to do things, how long it takes you to get from A to Z. I try to give myself 30 minutes of time to get every place. Sometimes, I'm still late because I'm still working on my own time management, but it's just a way to know where you need to be and what you need to do. So for your load of laundry, if you're starting to sort clothes, if you sort clothes, maybe you don't, maybe all of your loads go into one load, and that's great. But set a timer just to see how long it takes you to get a load washed, and then as it dried, how long it takes either to hang it up or to fold it up. And then you'll know what buckets of time you have when. So if it takes you 30 minutes to fold up laundry or sort it, put on the show, put on the podcast, audiobook, something like that you can do if that's what you desire, or music or whatever it is to get you going. Do something like that just to take your mind off the task, but also you'll know how long it takes for you to do all those things and how to fit it into your schedule. And then the third thing, which I kind of already mentioned, and it goes along with that timer, break up your tasks, break up your laundry tasks. So like I said, some of those tasks were, sorting the clothes, actually laundering the clothes, putting them in the dryer, hanging them up, folding them up, and then putting them up. So if you break up those tasks, sometimes it can seem a little less daunting, because when we think about doing laundry as a whole, it can be very overwhelming. But if you break it up, like I said, some days I'll just sort. I'll start the first day with just sorting them out. So I have like 4 piles of laundry on my floor, and now I know which one I want to start with, based on the time that I have, based on the energy that I have, because I know if I do a load that I'm hanging up, I'm going to have to dry it. I'm have to wash it, and after I wash it, I'm going to have to hang it up. So that requires a little more time and effort. So that load I don't do late at night. I will just wait till the next day, because I'm not going to have the energy to hang it up, and I don't want it to be wrinkled. So breaking up those tasks, like I said, you can break it up. And if you have a day or a couple of days that you decide to do for your particular laundry, or a day you just break it up, maybe you time block your day out. Maybe you have 2 hours time blocked in your day to do your laundry. Then okay, within a 2-hour time block, I can get 2 loads of laundry washed, and I can get one of those loads folded and one of those loads hung up. So it's really helpful just to kind of break down that routine. And once you do that the first couple of times, it'll start to stick. It'll become easier, and it'll become less daunting, because it'll become a little more natural in your schedule. Now, will you start to love your laundry? I'm not saying that. I'm not here to make you love doing laundry. I have not figured and cracked that code out yet, but when I do, I will let you know. But it's just a way to be more efficient, to get it done, because like I said, laundry is just one of those things that we have to do, that has to be done. And it's not something that we may love a whole bunch, but it's a way to do it effectively, efficiently, get it done, and get it out there and get it put up. So again, those 3 steps were to designate a day and stick to it, a day or days, and stick to that for your laundry day. The second step was to set a timer, so you know how long each step takes, how long it takes you to sort, how long it takes you to wash, dry, put up, fold up, all those different things. And then break up your laundry tasks. So like I said, maybe you sort it on one day and you wash it on another day. Maybe you only wash 1 or 2 for this day, and maybe another 1 or 2 in a different day. So that way, again, you're not overwhelmed, and you're not washing, because sometimes I know we'll wash 5 loads in one day, and then now you have this pile of clothes just sitting there waiting for you to fold up, and then you don't have time to fold it up because you didn't plan for it, you didn't create a routine for it, and you don't know how long it's going to take. So like I said, the more you stick to it, the more it'll become routine and a little less daunting of a task. You still may not like it, but we got to do it. So, and then, I have a bonus. So the bonus is to get your kids involved, and there's different ways that we can get them involved and, make it fun, but also a little less, heavy for you. So my 2-year-old, he loves to pull the clothes out of the dryer and put them in the basket. So that's one way that, and it may take a little longer when kids are involved, but start them young. So the things that they may do now for fun, they're practicing, and then they can start doing when they get older. And that's one less task that you have to do. And when we want to raise self-sufficient kids that can be independent and do things on their own, this is the way to teach them. They watch you do it. They're watching you model it, but then they can participate as well. So they're not depending on you to do their laundry when they are older, when they should be able to do it. So I'll have him pull the laundry out and put it in the basket. And then now he knows how to close the laundry, and then he wants to press the button. So I'll pick him up, he'll press it on, and typically it's already set to what it needs to be set. And then he does that. And then our older boys, they sort their laundry, and then they can pick it up and put it in the washing machine. So again, step by step, we're not ready for them to be pressing buttons yet and trying to figure it out. The good thing, most of the time it's already programmed, but again, there's stages for each type of chore. So that is what we have them do so far. And maybe the next stage is for them to learn, which settings are what, and maybe we can post them, and probably that would make sense. I'm talking it out as I'm talking to you, but we'll probably post it up on the side so they can, know what buttons to press and wash their own laundry. And after that, that's sweet, because then we don't have to do it. We have a laundry where the detergent is already in there. But there are little steps that could go a long way with our children. And like I said, as we want to raise self-sufficient kids, these are great steps that they can get used to, even in the kitchen. If you're cleaning or doing certain things, or maybe you have a certain way of cleaning up your kitchen or your living room, or you're a certain way, show them how to do it, and maybe they want to do it their own way. Maybe they have their own style, and that's fine as well, but demonstrate it for them and have them participate. And then that way they're not depending on you just to clean it all up, but that's something that they can help with, and it can become a family affair. And, speaking of family, sharing the load is so important. If you have a spouse, if you have a partner in the home, share the load. Figure out, like I said, for us, my husband does the twins' laundry, and I do the littles' laundry. And I was out of town this past weekend, so he did the littles' laundry for me when I came back. And when he was out of town a couple weeks ago, I did the twins' laundry, so he wouldn't have that when he comes back. So, we try to share the load. We try to have a team effort. But say, you are the designated laundry person, that's cool. But trade off on other chores. So if you're doing the laundry, maybe hubby cooks. Maybe he gets the kids ready for bed. Maybe he gets them ready in the morning. Maybe there's something else, another way that he contributes to those chores, so you don't have to do it all. But there are ways we can share the load and not be as stressed when it comes to our chores, when it comes to household tasks and things, especially when we have a house of family and a household of people in our family that are willing to help, or that they can do. There are a lot of things that they can do. Even my child on the autism spectrum, like I said, he picks up his laundry and puts it in the washing machine. He may not be at the place now where he can sort it, but that could change. Maybe he will start sorting it. Maybe he'll get to the point of washing his own. But every little step counts. Everybody can do their part. And I think that's very important as a household structure, that everybody learns what their self-sufficiency is and what they can do, just to be a part of it, so it doesn't all fall on mama. Because sometimes it can get very overwhelming with all the things that we have going on. So yeah, so that is all we have today. This is what we're talking about today. The spring refresh, talked about laundry. So if you, like I said, if you are in need of revamping your laundry system and your routines for spring, then I hope this was helpful. If you're just joining us, definitely catch the replay. Share it with another mom or parent or just person that needs help with their laundry routine. These 3 steps can definitely get you started, or just help you revamp what is not working in your current system. We will be back next week with another one. Again, let me know if there are areas in your home that you are struggling with, that you want to know some information about, how to have a new routine, how to get things organized, how to organize a space. That is what this month is about, and maybe just spring in general. It's about spring refresh. So I need some ideas. I got laundry from you all, so let me know what other ideas in the home that you have that you are struggling with, that you need some help with. I would love to just give you some tips on how to revamp that routine or organize that space, or whatever the case may be. So I expect to see you in DMs or in my comments, but let me know for sure how I can help you, because I'm definitely happy to do that in this spring season. So I hope you all have a great day today. Join me next Tuesday for another live. And yeah, we're going to keep working through this spring and working through our routines and things of that sort. So have a wonderful day. I will talk to you next week. Bye.